Well, Dr. Aldrin, Buzz Aldrin, didn't Werner von Braun draw up the space shuttle back in like the mid-30s, the idea for it? Isn't it ancient comparatively in the space age?
Well, yes. What he felt we needed correctly was a laboratory in space and a reusable way to have rockets and spacecraft take people and cargo up to the... But that's two things, and we couldn't build the laboratory till we had the shuttle, and the shuttle was not well designed in the first place by trying to put a crew in the reusable booster, so it had to be redesigned with solid rockets, and I didn't agree with that. And it ended up being quite a large vehicle to satisfy the Air Force needs for a big reconnaissance satellite and a one-orbit mission returning to the same place that because of rotation, moved 1,500 miles to the east.
Sure. Not to interrupt you, but in the time we have, we're reaching the halfway point here. Sure. I'm going to skip this network break. You cover a lot of this in Magnificent Desolation, which is a magnificent book. But something I saw you get really excited about was on C-SPAN. You talked about this monolith on the tiny potato-shaped moon of Mars, and I knew about its moon. I didn't know about this monolith, and you got really sparkly-eyed and animated about this. Tell us about this monolith and why you want to land on that moon first.
Well, I want to land on the moon first, whether it has a monolith or not, because it orbits around Mars in 7 hours and is quite close, much closer than our moon is to the Earth. And from that moon, people can control robots, rovers, all sorts of assembly processes, chemical processes, fuel processes, and other things on the surface without endangering the crew. And it's much easier to take people there, actually, than it is to take people to and from our moon. Because of the smallness of it, it takes longer to get there, and when you get there, you have to stay longer. So it's a significant challenge, but it is a major, safe stepping stone before going to the surface of Mars, and can be approached in inspiring, logical steps from low Earth orbit, doing things that increase our capability, some in the direction of our moon, but not landing on our moon. Instead, we have the experience to be the leaders of international nations, other nations, sending their astronauts or tachinauts to land on the moon. And
so are you saying, Mr. Aldrin, that this should be an international mission?
Well, everything should be. The space station is international. We need refueling for going elsewhere in space, and that should be commercial, not national, not government controlled, and that certainly means international. Now the monolith just happens to be a location of a Marsology, not geology, feature that is a physical structure, but it is very, very curious, and is quite close to where we would like to land. And Canadian studies extensively of going to Phobos for science. The science team has said, go for the monolith. So they think that is sufficiently scientifically attractive, and it's close to where you want to be to observe from there the planet Mars itself.
Well, Commander Aldrin, isn't this interesting? We have 2001 Space Odyssey. We have this, what looks like almost a perfect monolith on this moon. And then here you are, one of the first moonwalkers. When the Eagle lands, you're on television saying we need to go there to see this monolith. You're saying it's very curious. And again, I saw your eyes light up on television. What is your gut this monolith is, or what are Marsologists saying it could be?
my opinion and the Marsologists' opinion don't guide public opinion and curiosity for the unusual and the bizarre. We need lots and lots of public discussion about the pros and cons of going anywhere.
No, I mean, certainly it's a way to get people interested. I see that, but
okay.
What do you think this is? I mean, tell me what your gut, or as a person, a doctor who studies this, what does this look like to you?
It's a big, tall rock. Now, I can say it looks like maybe a crude construction device by some creatures who practiced on Phobos and then landed in Egypt and built the pyramids. I don't really believe that, but some people are liable to think that.
Well, I'm looking at it. It's got what looks like really clean-cut edges, and it's got a smooth top. And I never even cover this stuff, Mr. Aldrin. Buzz Aldrin on the phone with us here from California. This is just amazing to have you and others talking about it. And I see all your excitement dealing with it. Let me ask you in this way. What do you believe the destiny of humanity is? Because a lot of people feel like this species is far older than we even know. What do you believe man's destiny will be if we have the vision to go off-world? I mean, in a big way.
Well, I think sooner or later the Earth is just liable to be impacted by something that we, as humans, with all our technology, could not prevent. And it would be a good idea, thousands of years maybe in the future, or 2 weeks in the future, to have a survivable off-planet species to keep pain going. Not just for the benefit of unborn people, but think of the lives, the history that the human species has had here on Earth, mm-hmm. and to have that wiped out. It's not just the lives of the future.
Well, Dr. Aldrin, what was it, Saturn that got hit by Shoemaker-Levy, the big comet that broke up? I mean, they said if that hit the Earth, that would have basically killed all life on the planet, or at least knocked out our civilization.
No, that was Jupiter.
Jupiter, that's right, Jupiter.
Well, and we just might find indications of a very crude form of life that might have arisen at Mars and then been transported to Earth. So it might be the beginnings of life on Earth that thrived, whereas it died out on Mars.
Are you saying we might be Martians?
Well, we're a long evolution away. I don't believe that means that there were rocket ships somehow that left Mars and landed here on Earth. And
but meteor impacts, you're saying, which we know send Martian rock here, could have brought it?
Yeah.
Or vice versa?
Yeah.
Going back, because that was so intriguing, you're saying it's similar to some of the things we see in Egypt? No.
I'm just saying
no, I mean, the obelisk.
There is a lot of conjecture as to who built the pyramids.
No, I understand. But
I'm pretty well convinced that they were slaves that were conned into building this edifice for the pharaohs,
yeah.
So the pharaohs could get to the other side in the Holy Land and put in a good word for all the slaves who built the pyramids.
Sure, I understand your view now.
You talk about a Ponzi scheme. That was the biggest con game I ever saw.
Well, again, Buzz Aldrin's our guest right now, author of Magnificent Desolation that I hold in my hand. What I'm getting at is this, and I respect you and I appreciate you coming on the show. I know we have advanced technologies. I know we have incredible men and women. I know we have amazing can-do spirit. We also know that there are a lot of secret military programs, a lot of advanced technology. We see astronauts hinting at it, hinting at knowing about things. And this is not even a UFO show. We just see other astronauts that say they've seen things out there. We've seen video from the space shuttle of things flying around. I was just wondering your your view on life in the solar system outside Earth?
We have zero evidence of any life in our solar system other than that which we can observe here on Earth. And I think the distances involved to even the closest star, having written a detailed science fiction story about another civilization from Alpha Centauri that had compelling reasons to advance their technology and to visit the Earth. They failed in their efforts to do that for logical reasons. But I don't believe they exist there on Alpha Centauri, nor do I believe they exist on other places.
Sure, it's hypothetical.